Chapter 99 Dead. This is The Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 11, Best Scenes and Complete Recap. This is going to be kind of a dual stream because we didn't get a chance to fully recap the show, so we are going to be talking about that episode. But also, I love doing this because we post a survey on our Patreon channel, and then it gives our patrons a chance just to shine a little bit more of a spotlight, get some of their thoughts, some of their ideas included in this as well. And last week was a really good episode, but was also unique as far as the spoilers went in a couple regards. Before we get into that, I want to give a super chat shout out to Valar once again. Hello, 999 Army, Kill Steph, Emmy Kale, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, patrons, and of course, all the super chatters. Thank you so much. And the super chatters were live and in full effect in the last stream. If you guys missed a stream we did at 8 o'clock, we're doing double shots week. So there's going to be 2 streams every night. We're doing an 8 o'clock stream a little bit earlier. Really, really good conversation, some bold predictions. Thank you for all your participation. And then we have this as a follow-up. So it's a little bit of the advertising's going on. We got Tom Ferreira, the A symbol with the line on top is a real symbol. Yeah, but it's not a A, Tom. It's missing the little cross letter in the middle. So it's almost like an upside down V with a line on top. And that's where, so I mean, there are some symbols that are like it, and that's why I just simplified it and said, I think it's a stick figure of a person, just missing a head. And we're so attached to the A's in The Walking Dead because they've used the letter A so much as well. So, I've seen some interesting information on that. So, I am going to, real quick, last week, if you guys remember, I think it was last Thursday, the spoilers came out, and there was, the spoilers were a little bit limited. So, when we did our spoiler chat, I scored it really low. I think I came out initially and gave the episode a 5 because there was just not a lot of stuff there. And most people were kind of a little let down. And then Amazon did something creepy. They leaked the episode. So once they leaked the episode and we found out there was a little bit more details, then we did a follow-up spoiler stream. And everybody kind of raised their ratings a little bit more, and it was a really good episode. So, of the episode, I'm going to give you some of the best scenes and some of the Patreon comments, and then I'll let you guys chime in, and then we'll just do a rating system, and I'll come up with a rating system together. So, of the ones I posted, the number one scene, according to Patreons, was, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it that way. We're going to scratch it. I'm going to go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How about that? So, the fifth, and we'll see, you guys can play along as well. So think backwards for me, because I want to get all your thoughts included in this video. So number 5 was the dog scene. The dog actually got 2 scenes. Daryl, had the dog sniff the shirt, and then they went to a commercial break, and then they came back, and they did it again. So the fact they did it twice was worthy of a top 5 ranking. Next, number 4. Everybody agree with the dog scene? Anything any different? Okay, Julia had that. So several people got that. Number 4, Jerry dropped the bulb. After all the work he put into it, bubble wrapping it, he drops the bulb, and they have to fight their way through. Dog is number 1, to be honest. Number 3, and many of you probably had this one rated a little bit higher, was the exchange with Daryl. You ain't getting your daughter back. Wrong answer. Wrong answer was number 3. I actually had wrong answer as number 1. That was my number 1. But this is the Patreon survey. Number 2, the baby crying scene. And Number one, let's see if you guys, the ones that are not Patreons, answer this question, because the ones Patreons, you guys all obviously know, you've seen the survey. What do you think the number one scene was according to our Patreons? Jim says the corn maze. Bailey says Connie. Yes, that was number one. Number one was the Connie perspective of the corn scene because, you had the kind of around every corner and then you had her perspective. So let me see what you guys think about that. We have some disagreements. And I'm going to jump over to the super chat. We got Tom Ferreira. Why does the actress for Lydia look 15, yet she's 19? A stress-free life, possibly. Some people just hide their age. Roxanne, baby scene with Alpha was number one. Okay, I mean, here, what I'll do is I'll say, I thought all five of those were good. So out of those five, and I'll repeat them once again, let's see if we can pull one of them out. I'm okay with that, being a final top five. I'm totally cool with that. So once again, any objections to Dog being number 5? Jerry dropping the bulb is number 4. Alpha, wrong answer, number 3. The baby scene, number 2. And Connie, number 1. I mean, you do have the worm-eating scene. No, wait. No, that was the week before. Sorry. Yeah, scratch the worm-eating scene. You had the Enid going out talking to Henry. I'm not putting that in my top 5. I like the worm scene so much. I put it in every discussion. The slap. Well, I mean, you did get a little bit of Enid's backstory. Sherry says switch the baby and Connie scene. I could see that. I'm okay with either one of them. Jerry's gum scene. So you guys want to pull the dog scene out and get Jerry top 5? All right. There we go. Okay, we'll add Jerry's gum scene, and that'll be top 5. So let me read a couple of the comments that the patrons actually had to say, because some of these are really good. Lisa Khaleesi. You guys all know Lisa. Connie with the baby scene, seeing it from her perspective was brilliant, kept me on the edge of my seat. And my second favorite was Luke being able to communicate with Connie, and no one knew it. That we saw her disability is a true gift and not a disability. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about Lisa's comment? And we didn't really consider Luke talking to Connie as something we'd put in our top 5. I'll read a couple comments from that. We got Drama King. Dog looked different to me in this episode. Anyone else? Drama, I didn't notice. I didn't notice it was a different dog. Now you have me, I'm going to have to go back and check it out. Tom, actually, that was a good one, too. See, there's another one that got left out. Thank you for that super chat as well, Tom. Tom says, Ezekiel asking if this is the face of a scared man. That was good. Is there anything else we should pull out with the Ezekiel? No comment, Your Highness. Luke's mask. Actually, Beta's got a pretty big mask, too. Whisper Zeta, Super Chat, says, getting his vote in. Jerry mouthing the lyrics to the song and Carol's reaction. Yeah, I could definitely put that in up around 3, but we got to figure out, that might be better than the bulb scene. All right, I'm going to read a couple comments and then we'll get back to it. We're going to take a revote. This is a very, very good comment. This is Newfield 12, one of the patrons as well. Hold on a second, so I'm going to super chat this before we get to Newfield 12's comment. Tom Ferreira says, because of how genuine he said it, which made me laugh. Yeah, I think we need to get that in the top 5. I'm going to read a couple more comments, and you guys see if any of these need to go in there, and then we'll just redo it because I think we're going to have a recount. So, Crystal says, Newfield 12 says, sometimes what you hear is what makes a scene scary. For example, Negan's whistle, and I agree with that. I know, that was creepy, right? And the scene with Connie showed us how scary it can be when you can't hear what is chasing you. So that's her validation to why that was number 1. And I kind of agree with that. I do. There were some good punchlines and some good stuff with Jerry and Ezekiel. But I still think wrong answer for me, I think initially was first. But now that I think about it, the Connie scene was definitely tough because you're kind of cheering for, like, don't go that way, don't go that way. Here's a comment from one of our patrons, Mish Puddin. Her number 1 was the baby scene when Alpha turned and gave the Whisper a look. She put the baby down and Alpha looks at her and shrugs to the mother. And, she's like, if the mom can't keep them quiet, the walkers will. Natural selection. Alpha, in her own sort of ways, got jokes too. So, and that was her number 1, but some of you were kind of back and forth with that. That was my number 2. Crystal, the singer chick Gore. You guys know Crystal. Where's Crystal at? This was her patron comment. Alpha's comment that if mama can't quiet the baby, the walkers will. There you go. I should have probably read her comment before I said exactly that. It's all good. Holly Pierce. Holly says, I gave Jerry a vote since no one gave him one. What's funny is Holly gave him a vote on the Patreon site, and many of you actually gave Jerry a vote on here. So we're going to actually do a revote in a second. And Walking Dead Nerd says it's a tie between the baby scene and Connie's perspective. So that's number 1 and number 2. So we're going to have to change this up a little bit. All right. Clean slate, everybody. Now that you've heard many of the scenes, let's think about some of the scenes that we have not talked about yet, at least at any type of length, where we had Addie and Enid and Daryl wanting to go after Henry and the conversation there. How about Lydia turning herself in to save Luke and Alden? Or how about Lydia saying to Alpha Mom, and she slaps her and says, call me Alpha. I mean, those are scenes of discussion of relevance as well. So what we're going to do now is any scenes that you can think of that you haven't, don't rate your top 5 yet. But any other scene that I have not discussed, if you think it's top 5 worthy, type it right now. Don't tell me where you're going to rank it. Just give me some additional information. So I think we've pretty much pinned most of the episode. Killing the walkers. Tom Ferreira, did Alden and Enid kick it? Yes, they did. That was done. The singing scenes, yeah. Daryl and Henry talking about sometimes it just sucks, but you have to live with it. The Luke giving Connie some signals. Walker's in the movie theater. Okay. I mean, we covered at least most of it. All right, so we're going to start over. And remember, it's got to go in reverse order. You only have 5. So let's start it. So number 5. Give me your number 5. We'll see. We might end up with the exact same list. Still got the dog. Gum scene, Jerry. You know what? The dog was in the top 5, and then it got kicked out, and I wonder if it's going to make it back in. Daryl and Connie taking off. Seeing Jesus again. There you go. All right, look, we're getting a lot of votes for dog. So it's right now it looks like it's between Jerry's gum and dog. The more we could never get a consensus. Shane, since we're doing, I've spent literally a good 20 minutes in the previous stream going over it. Some people saying the slap was predictable. All right, so I got 3 options. I got the slap, I got the dog, and I got Jerry's gum. All right. Moving on, let's get to number 4. What do you guys think number 4 is? Number 4. Symbol on the sign. Ezekiel afraid of Carol. Dropping the bulb. Daryl and Connie scene. Lydia turning herself in. Yeah, some of the same stuff. All right. Lisa's like, I'm great with the list you have. All right. All right, number 3. All right, everybody give me your 3, 2, and 1. Actually, we'll speed this up. Give me number 3, 2, and 1 in that order. And then we're going to come up with a final list. And I got a way to be diplomatic on this one. Tape recorder music in the theater. All right, so here's where we're going to leave it. All right, at number 5, we got a tie. We got the Jerry Gum scene and the duplicate dog scene. It was so good they showed it twice. Number 4, Jerry dropping the bulb with some of the other movie theater antics. Number 3, wrong answer. Number 2, the baby scene. And number 1 is Connie's perspective. So I think that's a pretty solid list. I think that's a good top 5 for our week. I mean, the Luke and Connie didn't quite make it, but some of the other Connie stuff did. So I would definitely put that up there just a little bit higher. There was some good stuff from every scene. You know what? Let's extend the scenes out a little bit. And some of the people missed the early stream. Go back and catch that with some good dialogue around it. We did talk about the sign on the sign. And I'm just going to go out there and say it's a real simple figure. It is a headless figure. And I think it is just marking Whisper territory. And I think it's marking where they have their walkers stored, because there were a lot of walkers in that movie theater. And I think we're going to see several more of those. They're just accumulating herds, and when they need them, they need them. Drama King, New York City says, an Ezekiel mask with dreadlocks included might be highly sought after in the Whisper community. How cool would that be? Heck, I'd wear that. What about Jerry? Jerry's got some nice flowing locks. So let's do a super chat spotlight. You know what? We always go from the perspective of our characters. So let's flip it around. Let's give the Whisperers a little bit of love. Which character would make the coolest Whisperer mask? There you go. Maybe which one you'd like to see, but which character you think would make the best Whisperer mask? Ezekiel? Dog, come on. Come on, Bailey. The King? Carol. Yeah, Carol with all that hair. Where's Steph? I know Steph's going to chime in and say Negan. You know, especially William Finney super chat says Michonne, especially if it's animated. You imagine walking by a pike and it's like yapping. Do you guys remember that scene from wasn't it Evil Dead 2 where that head was like, I'm going to eat your soul, and he put the head in a vice or something like that? It just kept on, like, on and on and on. It was animated. Tom Ferreira says, I thought the A symbol looks like her symbol, like the Omega symbol. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just don't feel like there's going to be a whole lot of mystery around this, and I may be completely off base with it. But there's so much going on with Walking Dead. I feel like a new group, a sign on a sign, the Whispers, a flashback. I think that's too much stuff going on. I think it's just going to be about the Whispers. Plus, the other thing it does is it really drowns out the Whisper story arc. If we got Highwaymen and Commonwealth and a whole bunch of other things going on, we need to focus on the Whispers and let them have their moment. And I really feel like it's a territory marking, but it's also because they're not going to be able to just stick pikes in the road or the sidewalks. I think this is just going to be an alternative marking. William Finney guarantees the heads will be animated. Baby was. It's going to be creepy. Yeah, it certainly will be. So Whisper Zeta says, I hope the Commonwealth doesn't come to be, it's dragging along the story in the comic. You know where I feel about that, Zeta. I think the Whisper storyline needs to be extended, and I think some of them need to escape. I want to see it different. I don't want to see them taken out. I want to see them be a constant threat for like 2 seasons. Glenda Batista, I'm so worried about the king. I just love Ezekiel and Carol. Glenda, episode 15. Don't watch. And if you do watch, make sure that you're here for therapy after episode 15. Because this is going to escalate in a hurry. Yeah, there's plenty of time to introduce new groups. See, I agree with that. Whisper Zeta said Whispers were defeated too easily in the comics. And I'm not even at that story arc yet. But I just know how evil and how dark they are, and I thought the same thing. I think they really need to make it a struggle. And by struggle, I don't mean, I just want Maggie to show back up with a whole lot of automatic weapons and take them all out. I want to see the journey of the group having to rebuild. This, of all the things that have happened on The Walking Dead, this is going to test them like nothing before. Now, with the Saviors, I don't feel like they had to totally rebuild because, yeah, they lost Glenn and Abraham, but they didn't lose their leaders. If Rick is gone, Maggie's gone, if Ezekiel dies, then basically all 3 leaders are either dead or gone. So the test is going to be who steps up. It's kind of like a Walking Dead reboot. Which, for all the changes, I think they've done a hell of a job keeping our interest and keeping us with the show with the amount of talent that they're either writing off or losing. So I didn't want to completely... I've avoided some of the Henry spoilers and some of the Henry topics. But where do you guys stand with Henry right now after this week's episode? Still angry? Do you understand him a little bit more? Is he validated for going after her? I mean, yes, Beta is going to throw him over his shoulder and walk him back. Wow, the first 3 comments were Pike Henry, he can go, needs to die, gotta go, Pike him, gotta go, Pike Henry, Henry on a pike. Wow. Holy Toledo. So are you guys ready to deal with the backlash, the suffering that Carol's going to go through because of Henry? Because if any of that goes down, I mean, that's the consequence. That's, as a character, I'm okay with Henry not being there either. But that's why I said in an earlier stream today, there's going to be a lot of dominoes that fall if Henry doesn't make it. Zeta says Henry is the most reasonable community dweller. So Zeta, do you feel like it's just time to move on from Henry? The acting's kind of, yeah, I mean, I get it. But I guess the problem's going to be, where does this story go? Does he become the new blacksmith? Does he take over for Earl? American Pride says Henry should have never happened. So it looks like the consensus is the story doesn't need him, but we're going to have to prepare for Carol's reaction of losing another kid, if it were to happen. I mean, it's been long enough. She could lose another kid. I get it. But we've been there before. We've seen that. And do we want to see if I feel more comfortable that Ezekiel's going to die than Henry? And if Ezekiel dies and Henry dies, then Carol just pretty much has Daryl. Is that where we want to push the story? Or do we want Henry to always kind of be looking up to Carol? Yeah, there is no right or wrong for the Henry storyline. Logan, I agree. I think the acting is average. I think the role hurts his acting. Matt might be able to do a better job of acting. I don't know. I mean, I think the nice thing to say is he's a good actor, and I'm going to say he's an average actor. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's terrible. I think he's just, yeah, he does it. I'm not a huge fan, but I'm not here to dog him out either. But I think the role is poorly written as well. And I think the role is dragging the story down because I think everybody else is doing a tremendous job. Drama King. After the Whisperers behead, I would like to know what they do with the rest of the body. Hope they show us. Well, we did see what in the pictures this week when Alpha is beside Lydia. That looks like some organs or something on the ground. It didn't look like bodies. But, I'm almost thinking like, maybe this is going to be a bad analogy. Anybody ever play Mortal Kombat? Nah, they're not cannibals, American Pride. But it's a gruesome question, but it's a good question. So most of you played Mortal. Do you remember the fatality? Was it Scorpion that just kind of, grabbed them by the head and just, pulled their head off, and there was always something attached to it? Was that Scorpion? That's kind of what I felt like when I saw that pool of blood and Alpha standing there and the head on the pike. I know it's gruesome to talk about. And honestly, Drama King, I'm sure we'll see. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm not sure we'll see it because there are some plot holes in The Walking Dead. The assumption is that they're just either eaten or buried, but yeah, I don't know that we'll do a super long stream on what the Whisperers do with the bodies. Yeah, Viola, they do skin them, but you still have stuff left. Drama, I can't believe you even led me down this path to have me talking about this. Ugh. Dan Lawrence. Hey, Kills, were you always a fan of Chandler Riggs' acting? I thought a lot of the time he was way out. Dan Lawrence, I was never a fan of his acting either. I don't know. I'm completely in the minority with that opinion. I like Comic Book Carl. Comic Book Carl and Comic Book Jesus were both badasses, and I think TV Jesus and TV Carl just left a lot that I needed. Now that you brought it up, I will address it. Here's the reality for me, okay? I was okay with TV Carl, and I kind of blame all of you because you guys made me go back and read the comics. So when I read the comics, I started liking Comic Book Carl more than I liked TV Carl, and I felt like, okay, this is not even close. So I never really would have probably missed him if I didn't start reading the comics, is my point. Bailey Saxton. I want Negan out of the cell so he can annoy Steph. You know what? That will definitely happen. But I don't, you know what? Here we go. Other than Henry, who do you think is a poorly done character or a bad actor on the show? We could do a whole stream on this, actually. I'm not. But I think this is going to spark some good debate. I'm not talking about past. I'm talking about current. Other than Henry. No, current. Michael, I think Elena Masterson is a good actor. I don't like Tara. So I would only agree with half. Timothy Lamore says Alden. Tammy Rose. Tammy. This one to kill Jesus. Now his people. Well, we're going to be looking to you for justice. And when that time comes, and whatever she said, Tammy Rose annoyed the hell out of me in that episode. So I do agree with that. I love Eugene. I think Josh does a tremendous job, and I think... Now, I will say the opposite is true with that. I like television Eugene more than I like comic book Eugene. Because I think he plays the character so well. I'm so used to how he does it. I know he annoys people, but so did Jared. I mean, Jared was a bad guy, and people are like, man, I want Jared to die. And that's why I thought, well, that character was cool. I just think that Eugene is an acquired taste, one that you have to watch week after week, and you have to get through all the nuances of his character in order to appreciate how wonderfully done and how well written it truly is. I do like me some Eugene, because, you know, he can go on. I didn't catch all the dialogue, but when they were walking back with the... when Magna, Yumiko, and they were getting ready for the bridge scene, was Eugene rambling and then Magna turned around and said he means that's some bad shit or something like that? I didn't catch it. I'm going to have to go back. But maybe you guys caught that too. It seemed like she picked up on his, you know, what he was getting to. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me. Maybe nobody called it. All right, I'll go back and watch it again. I wasn't 100%. But it seemed like Magna just picked up on him really quick and just said what he was talking about. Jay, you've done super chats before. Jason, I just tried to send a super chat and it never allows me to send it. I thought I've seen you do one before. So Natalie, if that's what she said, was he rambling? Was that what he was describing? I'll have to go back and see what Eugene said, but I'm wondering if he's like, it was a flying mammal in the middle of the night and, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I didn't hear exactly what he said. I heard what she said, or that she quickly answered his question. So now I'm interested. Now I got to go back and check it out. If so, that would be an awesome. It'd almost be like foreshadowing. If there's a connection between Magna and Eugene, that could be, yeah, I hesitate to say Abraham, but that could be maybe Eugene's future. Yin and yang, the one that gets him, the one that understands him. I can't compare anybody to Abraham, but it'd be nice to see Magna take on a little bit of that role, because we haven't really seen Magna's true personality yet. Think about this. Ever since we've seen Magna, she's been pretty much high strung. First of all, they were in trouble. Judas saved her. Then she was going to try to stab Michonne. And then they went to Hilltop, and they're trying to blend in. So at some point, we're going to see the true Magna. I think I'm going to like her character, but I don't really know what her character is yet. We'll have to see, once they get through the Whisper War, when they get to peacetime, is she going to have a funny personality? We don't know. And Anna, we're actually going to wind it down too, because we're coming up on 45 minutes, which is about where I wanted to keep this tonight anyway. We got a lot of good activity the last couple days, and just did want to go back and sort of recap this episode and get a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas into this. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the multiple streams, because I know it seems like we're doing one a night. We would get to a topic, 30, 40 minutes. We wouldn't be able to kind of get through the whole episode before we were through with the next week. So if you guys are having a great time, you enjoy the additional content, do me a favor. Slap that like button, Lucille that like button, Pike that like button. I gave a ton of shout-outs a little bit earlier, so I'm not going to go through all the shout-outs. Just know that everybody here is fully appreciated. All the people are involved in the streams, the super chatters, thank you for your comments. It's nice to be on a topic, and then we sort of shift the topic up. We had just some really cool stuff tonight. Tomorrow night, we're going to go Thursday Thrones, so we're like a little bit over a month away, so we got to get into some Game of Thrones chat. And then we should have spoilers if Spoiling Dead's fan page has some stuff published. Then what we will do is tomorrow night we'll talk about their information. Of course, give them the credit. But we do like to compare their spoilers to some of our bold predictions and theories and just see how they line up. And hopefully we are right on point. So that's what we got going on. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Be safe. And I will see everybody hopefully at 8 o'clock tomorrow on the 999 Army channel. That's where we're doing the Game of Thrones chat. And then we'll be back here at 9:30. If the spoilers aren't out, we're still going to do a Walking Dead stream. But if they are, then I'll post it in the title. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.